There we go.
Oh my gosh. Look at the Put it, yeah, that'll work. Okay.
Hey, everybody. We're back.
Hey!
Hey, turn it down a little bit.
Oh my god.
Okay. Let's start this over again.
So, someone over here forgot to plug in the microphone, but as I was saying, it is week, we think, 6 of Paw Talk. It's been a busy week here. Yesterday, in particular, we had a lot going on. We did multiple intakes yesterday, and we always joke that things come in waves here because some days we'll have absolutely no calls of anyone needing animals taken in, and then yesterday it was just nonstop. We had a lady that she had 5 puppies that were newborns, and she said they were just abandoned on her property. So there's the puppies there. Nice photo insert there, Cody. So 5 little puppies, and we do think that they were born within the day. So they're probably, as of now, they'd be over 24 hours. But yesterday, I mean, they were still cold, still wet. Still had the umbilical cord attached, and it hadn't dried up at all. So to me, those are signs of a newborn puppy. They were very tiny. I mean, teeny tiny, could fit in the palm of your hand. So when they were brought in, they were in a plastic tub with just this wet towel. It was, yeah, that's it right there. And it was soaking wet. The puppies were freezing. And it's super important with puppies to monitor their body temp because they can't regulate that just like a human baby couldn't. They cannot regulate body temperature. So we had to get them heated up. So Cody went and plugged in a heater from downstairs. We had warm water bottles in their little crate. We moved them to a new clean tub. We got warm blankets. We fed them puppy formula. So we got them healthy enough at least that they could be moved. So they could be moved over to the vet. So they're at Veterinary Medical Center currently. But, you know, that's just one of those things that had we not taken them in when we did, they probably would have died. The person that brought them said they hadn't been able to eat since 6 p.m. the night before, I believe it was. So it had been a while.
At least 18 hours that they hadn't eaten at all. And at that stage, I mean, it's essential that they have some sort of nutrients coming in because that really sets the stage for the rest of their life. Those first couple days are very crucial.
Yeah, not only that, we took in a kitten, which, you know, we thought was a bit younger, but I do know Dr. Alexander thinks he's probably more 12 to 14 months old, so a little over a year. Still considered a kitten, but he had been brought in. He had a head injury, as you can see in the photo. He had swelling, missing teeth. Part of his jaw is actually missing. Turns out it is fractured. They don't know the full extent of the damages just yet, although it looked pretty rough yesterday, and it was one of those things that needed immediate medical attention. So, of course, we took him in, and he's also at the vet and receiving treatment, and we're doing a fundraiser currently for his medical expenses. So, hopefully we'll get enough to cover cost of his care, and we can get him back on the road to recovery. Did you have another picture of him?
No, that was
just the only picture. I should have. We also have some things going on this weekend. We have the parade tomorrow. We are going to be reindeer, Rudolph. We should have had our Rudolph heads, too. I meant to grab those.
Yeah.
So we're both being Rudolph in the parade tomorrow, the Johnson City Parade. And we're going to have our van, so if you see us, give a shout out. We are excited for that. It's going to be at 10:30. And then on Sunday, we haven't really worked out all the details, but we're going to be at the dog wash. What is it called?
Wags and Suds.
Yeah, Wags and Suds Dog Wash. It is here in Johnson City as well, off of West Market.
Yeah, off of West Market over in the Dollar Tree parking lot, just adjacent from Walmart. And if you haven't been there, it's a great facility. Don't know a whole bunch about the couple. I believe they're from California, but they had come out here and just decided to move, and they've got a whole retail area, and I believe in the Johnson City Post press interview they wanted to focus on smaller businesses, so they have a lot of items that you probably wouldn't be able to find at a big retailer. Obviously animal related products. They have an entire section devoted to dog washing, animal washing. There's individual bays. It's very clean. They've also got a separate room, too, if you have a bigger dog or maybe a dog that's a little bit more anxious. So that way you can wash your dog there.
That's nice.
I do believe you have to call for an appointment. But if you come out tomorrow, I think it's from 12 to 5. You can take a look at the facilities yourself. I'm sure they'll have tours. You can take a look at everything. And and certainly come out. You'll be supporting them. Be supporting the Humane Society. So, definitely come out. It's nice to see more animal-related businesses.
It is, that we can work with and we can support and whatnot. They're going to be serving dog ice cream tomorrow, so that's super exciting. They're going to have all kinds of different flavors. Peanut butter, I was reading. They're going to have dog-safe chocolate ice cream, which is interesting. Yeah, so pretty cool there. So we'll be over there on Sunday. And then we've also got, I was trying to think futuristically, we've got next Saturday, we're also doing Jonesboro's parade, so we're just really festive this year. We didn't do this last year, so this is new. We are actually planning to have a dog sled team with a bunch of huskies, so that should be very fun. And it's going to be a night parade, so it's 6 p.m. I believe is when it kicks off. So it'll be downtown Jonesboro, so we'll be with that as well. Any other events that we've got?
No, I think one coming up in the future is going to be the book one.
Oh yeah, I've been working on that too. That we are actually planning for next Friday, so a little soon. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna be over there. I talked to them yesterday, probably like an 11 to 4 or something like that. Okay. And they are actually interested in doing permanent sponsorships for us for especially adult dogs and cats that we have difficulty getting adopted. Yeah. So they would be willing to raise funds to cover adoption fees, to cover things that we think would help them get adopted. So we are very, very excited to take on the Book Lovers Warehouse. That'll be a lot of fun.
And things like that, we're always looking for ideas and partnerships. Because, without having the public support, it's hard to get animals adopted. So we'd love to have that exposure. Mm-hmm. Any ideas that you have or any partnerships that you want to look to do, you can go to our website. Or you can call us here at the office and we can answer questions. On the website, there's an actual form that you could submit for like a fundraising request. Mm-hmm. We do money drives, we do supply drives, adoption events. The sky is really the limit as to what we could possibly do. It's just a matter of someone presenting us with an idea, and we'll come to the office and for the most part, we won't ever say no. We may need to make some adjustments. Yeah. But we're always looking for an opportunity to get out there in the public, and especially with us saving animals.
Definitely. I like the thought of an unconventional space for an adoption event because it draws more people in and a different crowd. Usually we have those particular people that are there specifically for adoption, say if they're at PetSmart or something like that, but it's going to be a different group, say if they're out at a bookstore and they happen to find an animal that they're interested in adopting. So I think it opens up a whole new aspect to people that would maybe be interested in adopting from us. So, yeah.
Okay. What else you got?
Let's see here. I do have my Meals on Wheels, my monthly thing here. So that is something, we've mentioned it just in passing as a list of one of our programs, but Meals on Wheels, we supply animal food that is delivered with the human food monthly to those in need. So we, and Cody usually helps with this, we monthly organize for each individual, whether they have cats or dogs, an allotment of food for them. So similar to our community pet food, but this is for people that can't get out, that can't get here. So that helps a ton for those people. If they don't have the ability, say if they can't drive or they're disabled, what have you, we get food to their animals when they need it. And oftentimes, Karen over at Meals on Wheels, she said that their people will go without eating or they will give their meals to their pets because they are so worried about their health and their well-being that they'll do without just to provide for their animals, which, that's just very sad, but I think I would probably do the same thing if I was in that position. That's just what an animal lover does, but we love being able to do the Meals on Wheels program. So on average, we send, 30 bags or more of food per month. It's a big shipment of food that we send out there. So that's one of our biggest things when we ask for donations. Whether it's here or going to Meals on Wheels, it's always helping somebody in our community. So,
Yeah. What else?
Put me on the spot. Wow. Let's see here. That touched on all of our adoption events. I was going to go back. So when we were mentioning the newborn puppies and just how fragile they were. I printed off a timeline this morning, which I thought was pretty cool, which it's going to be difficult to see, but I can read off. Puppies grow so fast. To think that when they're a week old versus how different they are at week 3 is just fascinating to me. So these may be things that people already know, but puppies at a week old, they can't hear, they can't see, so they're born with their ears and their eyes closed, which is something, I learned when I started in veterinary medicine that, they do that and it protects them during birth as well, so that way they're not getting fluids and whatnot in their ears, in their eyes. And they are very uncomfortable as puppies, and they can't really sense their location at all, so they feel around for their mom, just I guess as a blind person or blind animal would in general, and they use their feeling to kind of crawl. They can't even really walk because they don't have muscles built up yet, so they're just crawling around to the mom. Let's see here. Oh, and as I said, they can't manage their own body temperature, so having a mother is very important. And with those puppies yesterday, we asked multiple times if there was a mother anywhere to be found, because it helps them thrive, having a mother to not only regulate body temperature, but to help them, because a mother's milk is always going to be better than any puppy formula that we could supplement with. Unfortunately, the mother wasn't found, but, they're in great care, so they're going to be okay. And then, by week 2 here, see, the eyes do start to open a little bit, and puppies vary. So, eyes can open sooner or later. It can happen anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. Normally, they will get used to, say, if it's a mother with puppies and they're in a home environment, they start to recognize the human's voice, so they're comfortable with the person that's actually caring for the mom as well. Week 3, they can start to stand, and they use their legs more to actually move around. They're much more mobile. At this point, we always have our puppies. We have a setup downstairs that we have a kiddie pool that we put the puppies in. And normally by 3 to 4 weeks is the time that we say, oh, we're going to have to take that kiddie pool out because they're climbing over it. That's because they've developed to the point that they can actually move around, and they're playing with one another at only 3 weeks old. So that's pretty interesting. And at this point, they are able to hear, and they can eat on their own with just small quantities. Now, we normally don't start feeding foods until closer to 4 to 5 weeks. This is, as I said, it varies from puppy to puppy. At 4 weeks old, puppies' legs are completely strong enough to play. They can run back and forth. They are getting back teeth in, and their teeth are getting stronger so that they can start play biting with one another. So fast forward from 4 to, say, 8 weeks, because these things are just going to build upon what they've already learned. At 8 weeks, they're adapting to a new home, a new environment, if they're adoptable, because we consider 6 weeks and up is when puppies have their first vaccines. They go and have all their vetting done, and so say if you were to adopt from a breeder, which, I'm not recommending, I'm just saying if you were to adopt from a breeder, you would be able to take a puppy home at that point in time. So say if they were adoptable, they would be adjusting to a new environment, learning their new grounds there. And at 3 months old, puppies are actually at the height of their learning. So they take in the most developmentally and emotionally at around 3 months of age. So that's when it's best to start training, best to do leash walking, everything, because they soak more of that in at 3 months of age versus any other time, which I find pretty interesting. Yep, and then on here it says 6 months of age and up is when they recommend spaying and neutering, though, we do it here just because our mission is to save as many animals as possible, so give or take on that. And by 9 months of age, that is what we consider being close to adulthood. So at this point, a female puppy has probably had its first heat cycle, could get pregnant, and male puppies have the hormones that they could impregnate a female dog, and so on and so forth. So they're really, it says here, spaying after first heat cycle is over. They can learn a lot more with harder activities and sports. So say if you chose to do agility with your dogs or anything like that, swimming, they are developmentally ready for that. So I just thought that was kind of cool, going over a lifespan of a puppy, because some, they'll call in and say, oh, is this puppy as big as it's going to get? And it's only 3 months old. Yeah. So we have to try and explain in terms that they can understand that, no, it's little and it's cute right now, but it's going to get a lot bigger. It's going to be a large puppy when fully grown. So.
Yeah, that's probably the number one question we get. Well,
all the time.
2 questions is, what kind of dog is it? Mm-hmm. And then how big will it get? To answer the what kind of dog is it, very rarely do we ever know what the mother and father is. it's very rare if we even know what one of them is.
Normally, it's just an I don't know
just
because we don't know
puppies, you know. So we have to take a very educated guess as to what I mean, there's certain, distinctions of certain breeds that we can make a fairly educated guess on.
Yeah.
But it truly is. It's a guess. There's a lot of ways to truly determine a breed. They've got these DNA tests. They've got things like that. But the expense to do that for every litter of puppies we just feel like it's not a good use of our money.
Exactly. And, we recommend those that are interested in having something found out about the breed of the dog. If they want to know, I mean, DNA tests now have come down a lot in price since they are more readily available. So you can order those online. I know Chewy.com has DNA tests now that you can order and do them in-home. And then you just send them off and they send back results. But we've had a lot of adopters that will email me with DNA test results, which I always think is very
cool.
fun. And if I do receive those and I know there were siblings, I try and pass that information along to the rest of the adopters.
Yeah, that's a great example of, other just people helping each other out because, some of these litters where you have 10 puppies, if one person does a DNA test, it's very nice
Everyone
to kind of share
in,
which I didn't think of Rue.
Yeah, with Rue,
done.
I was actually thinking, my phone is up here. So Oscar that we took in, the big dog here just passed this week, the owner had a DNA test done on him. And I was hoping if I could find that, if you have something to talk about for a minute while I look for that. Let me see.
Nope.
Oh, making me uncomfortable.
Nothing to talk about. Kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, while she looks that up real quick, let me...
I found it. Okay, so Oscar, if we had a picture of him, we could better explain this. He is huge, long-legged. He was, what did we say, 70 pounds when we weighed him? Something. He's a big boy. So it turns out he is half American Staffordshire Terrier. So that's 50% there. He's 12.5% Australian Cattle Dog, which I would not have seen. 12.5% Border Collie, 12.5% Boxer, and 12.5% Chow. So I never would have pictured that for Mr. Oscar. He's something. I wish we had a photo of him. But he's
I don't know if I have one to be able to load on there, but let's see.
Anna Grace took some really good pictures of him, but we are about to get him posted on our website, so he will be adoptable. He was returned due to the owner's child had some allergies and whatnot, so definitely nothing that was his fault. Oh, Jordan, she's sending pictures of Oscar. Here we go. Here's one. Look at his face. It doesn't really show his eyes. Look at that. So that is Oscar, and to think that he is part Chow is very surprising to me. I would not have seen that at all. I mean, I can kind of see the Boxer.
A little bit.
Yeah, Boxer possibly, so that's very interesting. That's why we always love these tests. We're often surprised at what the breed ends up being. So.
And the other question, of course, with sizing, and again, so, we can go off of what we think the breed is, but then it's even harder when you have to guess what the other half is.
And everyone wants to know. If for some reason we think or we know that a dog is a said breed, they're like, well, what's the dad? What's the other part of it? And so we don't know. It's very rare that we know what a dog's breed is.
So a general rule of thumb is by 6 months, they will be approximately 2/3 their weight. By 12 months, of course, they should be pretty darn close to being full grown, but usually about that 6 mark, you can tell. But, it's just one of these things that if it looks like it's going to be a medium to large dog, you need to prepare for that. Like Haley said, these dogs, I mean, they start out, 3-4 pounds.
Well, the amount of people that have called in on the Boxer mixes that we have listed right now, and they'll say, oh, I'm looking for a little dog, and I think so-and-so would be perfect. And I'll say, well, that one's not a little dog. It's little now because it's a baby, but it's going to be a big 50, 60, 75-pound dog. And so you just can't judge a book by its cover with pictures. And we don't know. I mean, some even that we have thought would be really small have gotten a lot larger. Moose, for example, that I adopted from here, he was a tiny little dachshund mix, and he was, I mean, maybe this big. The funniest looking dog now. I love him to death, but he's got a huge head, the longest body, big old feet. I don't know if he's part basset. I mean, I would love to have a test done on him, truly, because he's something. I never would have seen him getting as big as what he did. So you never know.
It's just when you adopt from the Humane Society, you're saving a dog.
Yeah, that's how we put it.
A dog or a cat. So just certainly keep that in mind and know that when you call and ask us, a question like that, we're going to give you our best educated guess.
And we never mean to sound rude by saying we don't know and we can't tell you. It's just we genuinely don't know.
I was thinking about, we have to classify or put some sort of breed down for the dog, because if we just put dog,
it's like,
well, of course it is. So, what else do you have?
That's all on my list here, but there's plenty more we could talk about.
Let's talk about one more topic here.
One more topic? Okay, well, we went over our facts. Did I read all of these? Because I should have printed off more of those. I think I did. No, there's some on here I know I didn't go over. I have more animal facts.
Okay.
So, let's see here. Dogs with long floppy ears are more prone to ear infections. Do you know why?
Because they're long and floppy? I mean...
well, kind of.
I mean...
Being long and floppy, they don't get as much air circulation, so it causes a lot of yeast infections, a lot of bacteria to build up there. They also say if it's a basset hound and it's bending over to drink out of its water bowl, it's constantly getting its ears and its food and its water, and as they scratch, that food and water is going to go up into the ear canal, and so that sets up infection. So that's a interesting fact. I had a basset hound growing up. Her name was Sadie, and we had to tie her ears back with a hair bow, actually, like a hairband, and let her, because her ears were so long. She was a good dog. Let me see here. Oh, and actually that is called otitis externa, in case you wanted to know. That is an ear infection. Kittens are all born with blue eyes. I think I might have touched on that last time, but their eyes change as they get older, just like humans. All humans are born with blue eyes. Let's see. The proper name for a group of cats is a clouder. Had no idea. A group of kittens is called a kindle.
A kindle and a clouder.
Yep.
Had no idea.
So I guess our groups of feral cats are clouders. That's really neat. Let's see. Oh, I didn't touch on this. This is interesting too. Dogs' only sweat glands are between the pads of their feet. They dissipate the majority of their heat by methods such as panting. If you ever notice your dog is panting excessively and their gums and tongue are pale, both are signs of heat exhaustion. So dogs can easily overheat, especially dogs with smushy faces like English bulldogs, anything that does not allow airflow as a longer snouted dog would do. A wet nose on a dog helps them smell better. The mucus attracts and catches more chemical scent particles. I think the rest of these I pretty much did. But I'll print off more of those because I think these are really neat.
I think that's a nice little way to end everything, just with a couple...
Yeah, we could have our weekly...
facts, because that's always interesting. Okay. Well, that about wraps it up for today. Again, make sure, if you see us on the parade, just...
shout out. Kaylee and Cody saw you on the Paw Talk.
Come and see us out at the parade, Johnson City Parade. And then, like I said, Wags and Suds on Sunday. Again, if you have any questions or, want to see what sort of services we offer, make sure you check out our website.
If you'd like us to sign any autographs, you can come by the office.
Yes,
anytime.
please.
Please do.
Highlight of my day, signing autographs.
We've had one person that has recognized us from Paw Talk so far. You remember?
Person. Yes. Yes.
That's okay.
The fame.
We are building our fan base.
But again, we appreciate everybody signing on. Make sure you come and check us out, and tune in next week at 9 a.m. YouTube. Make sure you tell your friends to please subscribe and like, and make sure you stay up to date on the content. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.